Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Director of Schools, Dr. Tracy McAfee, Principal Adam Clark, Athletic Director Jonathan Owen, we welcome you to Hohenwald, Tennessee, on the beautiful campus of Lewis County High School. Forward to tonight's matchup in the TSSAA Region 5 2A Boys Basketball Quarterfinals. Tonight's matchup features the number 3 seed, the Vikings from Community, and the number 2 seed, your Lewis County Panthers. At this time, please stand as I lead us in a prayer for the game tonight, followed by the national anthem. Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for this wonderful day you've blessed us with. Lord, we pray that you'll bless the athletes tonight competing and keep them all safe, Lord. Lord, we pray that you'll be with all those that are traveling to here tonight and that will be traveling later. Lord, we pray that you'll keep them safe. Lord, we pray that you be with our military men and women across the world and keep them safe tonight. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
And with that, we'd like to welcome everyone into Hohenwald, Lewis County, where we have the Region 5 2A quarterfinals as we're doing the starting lineup for the Vikings. With that being number 1, the junior, Jonathan Lawwell. Number 3, junior, Charlie Haskins. Number 5, senior, Jackson Williams. Number 14, Josh Powers, senior. And number 24, the sophomore, Andrew Tascio. And now the starting lineup for Lewis County. It will be the junior, number 1, Maddox Tanner. Number 11, the junior, Dakota Hull. Number 12, Bo Banks. And they have lowered the lights in here, so I apologize. I did not get the last 2 gentlemen at the end of the bench, but we'll get them here momentarily. As it's going to be number 4, the junior, Kobe Feikencher. And again, they're announcing the name of Hull. And number 12, Bo Banks, that we had already mentioned. And I'll give you some stats on those gentlemen in just a moment. As the last starter is going to be number 22, that being Carson Stewart. So Lewis County, how we got here, they lost to Hickman County in the district championship game, so they are the 2 seed. Meanwhile, Community upset Cascade and earned the number 3 seed out of District 9, so that's how we got here tonight. And jumping off will be Dakota Hull against Joshua Powers. As the officials getting everything set up, they've got the okay. And there's the whistle as we bring the ball to midcourt. The ball is in the air, and it is basketball time and Community. So Lewis County has possession of the basketball first. Bo Banks has got it, and he'll swing it over to Stewart. Stewart will bring it to the top of the key. Now going to swing it over to Feikinger. Now they'll get it back door. Yes, off the glass. Number 1, Maddox Tanner, slip back door. They found him, and he puts it in for 2. The early lead, 2-0, Lewis County. Williams has got it at the top of the key. Now they'll swing it around. Three-pointer. And that one off the mark by Toshio. The rebound loose is going to go out of bounds. It will belong to the Panthers. So if you're just joining us, again, this is going to be a audio call only. If you'd like to see the video, you can find it on YouTube. That being at High Forest Sports Network. As that one down in the paint. Shot put up. Yes. Number 11, Dakota Hull. And the score, 4-0. Back come the Vikings. Toshio with it, now over to Lawwell. Haskins with it, now gives back to Jonathan Lawwell. He's got it at the top of the key. Now swinging over to Haskins to the right side. Now they'll go around the horn. Toshio gets it down low to Powers. Now back out to Lawwell. Haskins three-pointer. And that one off the mark. Rebound goes to Powers. And it was stripped away. It'll go out of bounds. It'll stay with the purple and gold. 6:55 to go here in the first. 4-0. Lewis County leads it. As Haskins will inbound under the basket, swings it over. Toshio had a wide open look and traveled as he went for the head fake and then was going to try to drive towards the basket. So amazing numbers by Lewis County. Hull averages 20 points a game. Tanner 16.8. Banks 14.4 as they break the press, and Hull shot won't go. And rebound going to go back with Community as Haskins has got it. Puts it up. Yes! The kiss off the glass as he drives the lane. And the score, 4-2. Hull's got it. Leaves it back for Stewart. Now Stewart going to swing it over to number 1, that being Tanner. Now he'll get it back to Banks. Banks has got it at the top of the key, and Lewis County will set things up. As I was mentioning the averages, Banks averages 14 himself as a three-pointer. Yes! Three-point basket by Bo Banks. And the score, 7-2. Toshio with it on the left. Gives back to Williams at the top of the key. He'll swing it around to Lawwell. Now they got Haskins down in the corner. Haskins drives. Kicks it out to Lawwell. He'll swing it across. Toshio three. Bottom! Andrew Toshio! And that three-pointer brought to you by Amanda Sievers, and the score, 7-5. So again, an interesting tidbit about Hull, Tanner, and Banks. For the season, all 3 gentlemen are 50% from the field goal. So anywhere that they shoot from, half the time it's going to go in. So the field goal percentage impressive for those three young men as they have it across half court and are simply just slinging around the arc. Stewart, 3, and it won't go, but a foul called, and they will reward him with 3 attempts as the infraction is going to be called on Josh Powers. And that will be his first, the team first. The score, 7-5, 5:18 to go here in the first as Stewart will toe the mark. And he's going to get 3 stabs at it. The first one rims out. As Carson Stewart, the freshman, attempts the second one, and that one will go down as Lewis County is going to make a substitution, but it's going to be for the shooter, as we will have to wait till Stewart, the third one. Yes. So 2 for 3, and into the basketball game will be number 0, the junior, Phoenix McDonald. So 9-5 the score, and Williams will inbound as Haskins will bring it up. Haskins looks over to head coach Hunter Farrell, and he gets the instructions, barks it out, and we're getting things set up here at half court. He'll swing it over to Williams. Williams on the right side. Now he'll dribble back to the top. Off to Haskins, back to Williams. Now Williams going to give off to the right-hand side to Lawwell. Lawwell now has that ball knocked off of number 12, Bo Banks. It goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Community. So Williams, Lawwell, Haskins, Powers, and Toshio for Community as they throw into the backcourt. Haskins with it. Haskins looks over, gets the assignment. Now he's going to drift off to his right as Lewis County in that 2-3 zone. As he kicks over to Williams. Williams thought about the long three. Now going to drive down into the paint. Kicks it over to Haskins. A three. And that one off the front of the rim. Rebound is going to go to the big man, number 11, Hull, as he'll march it across half court. 9-5 the score. 4:29 to go here in the first. The winner will advance to Tuesday night against Summertown. The loser will be done for the season. Tanner with the basketball. Going to take the three. Yes! Maddox Tanner, the junior, knocks it down, and the score 12-5. Haskins now will come across as Williams is with him. Now he'll dump it off to Williams. Williams now over to Lawwell. Lawwell on the right side as he'll give back to Williams at the top of the key. Swings it over to Toshio on the left. Now back to Williams, back to Toshio. Now Powers down in the corner, three, and that one was a bank shot. Wouldn't go. Rebound goes to Williams, so Community still with it, as he's trapped in the corner and throws the pass cross court. It was intended for Feichinger, and he draws the foul. As Toshio was the one that was going to try to intervene, and he's called for the infraction. So the first one on Andrew as we approach the 3:30 mark. 12-5 the score, as number 12, Banks, will bring it across half court. And now he'll dump it off to number 4, Feichinger. Feichinger now swings it back over to Hull. Hull's got it on the right side, now the top of the key. Now Tanner going to drive in. Now he'll dump it off. Three-pointer. Yes! Three-point basket by Kobe Feichinger. And it is 15-5. The Panthers have come out running on all cylinders. Lawwell on the left side. Now Haskins with it at the top of the key. Gives Toshio on the right side. Now back to Lawwell at the top. Lawwell to Toshio. Now back over to Lawwell. They'll swing it. Haskins left side. Drives the paint. Puts it up. Won't go. No foul called. A lot of contact. And a long throw down by Banks as they get it across half court. Corner shot. Three. And that one won't go, but a rebound will stay with the Panthers. Well, it was lost out of bounds. It'll stay with Lewis County, as I thought it may have gone off Tanner, but the officials saw it differently. 15-5 is the score, as Lewis County will inbound. Hull's got it. Hull beyond the arc, being guarded by Boyce, and a foul going to be called on Boyce, who checked in. And they were going to reward him with 2 shots as he was in the act of shooting. So actually Toshio called for the foul, even though Boyce was the man on defense. So Hull will toe the mark, and the first one is off to the right as number 21, Mason Hill, will check in. And Toshio will have a seat, picking up the 2 fouls early, as checking in for Lewis County, as that free throw rattles home, as number 2, that being the senior, J.D. Woods. So Haskins will bring it across the timeline. 16-5 is the score. Lewis County's coming out hot. Nice look down to Boyce, as that one was knocked away. It'll stay with Community as they were trying to get it down on the block. And it goes off of number 12, Banks. So now Charlie Haskins will inbound on the baseline, gives it over to Lawwell. Lawwell now swings to Williams. Williams, top of the key, thought about the 3, now gives off to Lawwell. Now they'll swing it around the arc. Hill with it on the left side. Now Williams now gives to Lawwell. Back to Williams. Now Hill on the left side, thought about driving in. Now he'll pull it back out. Gives off to Haskins. Haskins drives, floater, and it won't rim in there as it goes out of bounds. And it is going to go over to Lewis County. So they've got Hull, Banks, Tanner, Feichinger, and Woods currently for the Panthers. Again, we've got Williams, Haskins, Hill, Boyce, and Lawwell, as Feichinger had his man up in the air but elected to pass it back out. Now they go back to him. Three-pointer, yes! Kobe Feichinger, the junior, with his second 3, 19-5, as the pass was almost intercepted, but Lawwell's got it. They'll swing it over to Hill on the left side. Now back to Williams. Williams, Lawwell on the right. Now back to Williams, top of the key, three-pointer, bottom! Jackson Williams. And a 3 brought to you by Amanda Sievers, and the score 19-8. So back with it. Banks over to Feichinger. He's had the hot hand, now gives to Hull. Hull now over to Banks. Banks on the left side takes a 3, and that one too strong. Rebound is loose in the lane. Hill comes away with it as he will dribble and give off to Haskins. Haskins across center court. Haskins leaves for a trailing Hill. Hill takes it down to the baseline, leaves it for Haskins, and the whistle, I did not catch what that was. My apologies. And 3 seconds in the lane was called on someone. That was awfully quick as we had just arrived down on this end of the court. Under a minute to go, 19-8 is the score as Hull's got it on the left side. Hull drives down free throw line, picks up his dribble. Now he'll leave it for Tanner. Tanner, offensive foul as he shoves with the free hand. And with 44 seconds to go, turnover, Community with it. So Haskins looks over, and he's got the instructions, comes over the half-court mark as he gives over to Hill on the left side. Now back to Haskins, top of the key. Swings over to Lawwell. Haskins now goes to Hill. Hill looks for Williams down in the paint, now goes back to Hill. Three-pointer, bottom! Mason Hill, the sophomore. Another Amanda Sievers 3 goes down, and we've cut the lead to 8 as they give over to Feichinger. Now Hull's got it. Hull's going to back it out. 11 seconds. Now Feichinger thought about the 3. Now takes it. Yes! And they're going to count the basket as they say he was fouled on the way down. So the 3 is good. The foul going to be called on Jonathan Lawwell. And into the basketball game will be Phoenix McDonald for Maddox Tanner with 7 seconds. As the score has grown back out to 22-11. As Feichinger will toe the mark, the free throw rims out. As the rebound is loose, Williams has got it. Clocked in start for a second. 3 seconds. Haskins drives down, and a foul called, and a block. So Haskins made the most out of that as he drew heavy contact. Not a bad foul, actually, by Lewis County, as that is only their second team foul. 0.8 inbounded, Haskins, and that's going to be short of the mark and brings us to the end of the first quarter. So we've played one. Lewis County's hot from beyond the arc. They lead at 22-11. You are listening to Viking Basketball on the Ball Network.
Bella Chic Boutique, located at 300 North Britton Street in Shelbyville, Tennessee, offers fabulous style with all the latest fashions. We also offer seasonal attire to celebrate all major holidays. Getting ready for the big game? Yeah, we have you covered there too. We also carry all the items you'll ever need to complete your ensemble. Bella Chic Boutique. Look good, feel good, dress good.
Home isn't just where you live, it's where you belong. It's your people, your school, and your community. That's why I'm proud to support our community Vikings and Vikings this season. Even if I can't shoot like them, I can still sell your house.
So welcome back, second quarter action, as it is 22-11, and Lawwell's got it as they hand over to Hill. Now Boyce had it momentarily, knocked away, and Lewis County with the basketball as it is brought across the timeline by Hull. Banks being guarded closely by Williams. Now Hull's got it over on the right side. Now they go back to Banks. Banks is going to drive down to the lane. Floater, and that one is too strong. Rebound underneath is going to belong to Jonathan Lawwell as he'll push it off to Haskins. Haskins going to drive down, puts it up, blocked, but a foul is called as Hull was the man that tried to step up and block the shot, but he got some of the body, and Haskins will go to the mark for 2. So that is only the third foul all night on Lewis County, as Haskins gets the first free throw to go down, and Powers going to come in for Boyce. So we've got Haskins, Powers, Williams, Hill, and Lawwell starting out here with 7:20 to go until halftime. Haskins, the free throw, yes! 22-13, as Banks will bring it up on the left side, loses control of the basketball momentarily, regains it, now swings it over down to Tanner. Tanner now back out to Banks. Banks beyond the arc, being guarded closely by Williams. He'll swing it over to Hull. Hull's got it on the right side, and now he's looking for Banks' backside, drives, and he traveled, sir. Oh, he calls the foul. He clearly walked. And it was not called. So the foul going to be called on Williams. That is his first, as Banks will inbound and loses the ball, stolen away by Lawwell. And now Lawwell going to be called for the double dribble. So apparently this official knows how to call a double dribble, but cannot call a walk 2 minutes sooner. As Coach Hunter Farrell having some words with the aforementioned official. As now Banks has got it in the back court, as he'll drive down, puts it up off the back of the iron, and it's going to be loose. Rebound. Yes, Williams has got it. Haskins now with it on the right side. They bring it across the timeline. Haskins driving down to the baseline, now gives it to Williams. Thought about the three. Lawwell drives, fakes, puts it up. Oh, count it! And the foul! A beautiful play by Jonathan Lawwell. He faked as he was going to pass off into the back corner, kept it, and slammed that baby off the glass, drew the contact, gets the bucket, and he'll go to the mark for the old-fashioned three-point play. 22-15 is the score. Free throw won't go. Rebound, Williams puts it up, and he draws a lot of contact. Nothing called, and now Lawwell was trying to strip it out of the hands of Tanner, who took down the rebound, and he will be called for his second infraction. So no jump ball called as they were wrestling for it. No foul called as Williams went back up with it. It's almost reminiscent of last night over in Riverside with the girls contest. As Tanner's got it, gives off to Hull. Hull's got it at the top of the key and thought about giving off to McDonald. Now he'll drive down, and offensive foul as number 11, Dakota Hull. He dropped the shoulder, and that is his third. So he will have to come out of the ballgame. Remember, Hull is sort of the key cog to this machine as he averages 20 points a game. My good friend from Summertown, Mr. Fred Long, said he has a tendency to drop the shoulder. Well, Mr. Long, you were absolutely correct, as he dropped it there, and he got called for the offensive foul. Under 6 minutes to go, Toshio with it over to Long. Over to Powers, as now Haskins has got it on the left side. Haskins will back it out as we've gone on a little bit of a run. 22-15 is the score, and these Vikings just will not go away. We won't go quiet in the night as Powers has got it at the elbow. Haskins now back over to Toshio. Haskins will swing it over to the left side. Hill had it. Now back to Haskins. Toshio, and now a travel called. I guess it was on Toshio. Anyways, it will be a turnover as Stewart will inbound to Bo Banks, who will bring it over, gives it back to Stewart. Now McDonald with it on the right. He'll leave it for Tanner at the top of the key as we approach that 5-minute mark until halftime. Banks with it on the right side. Drew a little bit of a double team. Now it goes down into the paint. And what was it, sir? It is a foul on Powers, who tried to set up for the charge. We did not get the benefit of the call that time, as that will be the second one on Josh Powers. Well, no, they're going to call it on Hill. So I'm not sure, unless Hill just reached in at the last moment, because Powers was the one trying to take the charge, as the free throw by Banks goes 25-15. As now we do go under that 5-minute mark. 10-point lead for the home squad. As Haskins Down in the lane, puts it up, won't go. Powers rebound, yes! Josh Powers grabs that rebound down, throws it back in through the cylinder, and the score, 25-17. Stewart back with it, now gives off to McDonald. Now they'll give it to Feichinger. Feichinger now will give off to Tanner, who drives, pulls up at the elbow, now gives off to Stewart. Now Banks with it as he's beyond the arc, being guarded heavily by Hill. Now Feichinger's got it as he will hand off to Banks. Banks with it, thought about driving baseline. Now he'll kick it across, three-pointer. Yes, a three-point basket by Phoenix McDonald, the junior, as quickly Hill's back with it. Haskins, now to Williams. Back to Haskins at the top. Williams, now will swing it over to Toshio on the right-hand side. Now back to Williams at the top. Back to Toshio, long three, and that one rims out. Rebound going to go to Banks. Banks will lead the charge off to Stewart, and that one deflected by Toshio, and that saved us 2 points as that one was stripped out by number 1 Tanner, but it will belong to the purple and gold. But an excellent defensive play by Toshio in transition. If he does not deflect that pass, they had a man down on the block that would have easily been able to accept the pass and get the 2. Meanwhile, Haskins in the paint. He hops, and it drops. A little hesitation, but it was enough by Haskins to get past the defense. And the score, 28-19, as that one is thrown out of bounds, but it will still stay with Lewis County as that one was deflected off someone in a black jersey, and now a timeout's going to be called by Lewis County. We'll take the break. 3:25 until halftime. 28-19 is the score. You're listening to Viking basketball on the Ball Network. So welcome back in. 3:25 to go until halftime. 28-19 is the score. Again, the winner, we already know, will get Summertown on Tuesday night at East Hickman. Summertown went ahead and traveled with the ladies team to play last night. So they did a doubleheader, and Summertown, even though they had several that were ill, several that had IVs apparently before the game, they persevered and won that basketball game, so they have advanced. So again, if Community pulls this off, we will face Summertown, who we are very familiar with. We've played them twice already, but we would get them again Tuesday night. So out of the timeout, Lewis County with it as a three-pointer, and that one way short. It hits nothing but the bottom of the net by J.D. Woods as we've got control of the basketball. Haskins with it, drives in the paint, puts it up, and draws the foul. Great job of being aggressive, as the foul going to be called on J.D. Woods. So Haskins will toe the mark for 2 attempts, and we have got to get all the points that we can while the clock is not ticking. 3:04 to go as that free throw hits the front of the rim and then rolls through. So the score, 28-20. As it looks like Feichinger is going to come back in for Lewis County as the second free throw rattles home, and Feichinger will check in for number 2, that being J.D. Wood. So they've got Feichinger, they've got Banks, they've got Stewart, Tanner, and McDonald. Meanwhile, we've got Powers, Williams, Hill, Lawwell, and Haskins. So Lewis County, Stewart's got it at the top of the key, almost threw it away behind Tanner as he traveled. He picked up the basketball, yes sir, and the official closest to it was obviously asleep, but luckily the one on the baseline made the correct call. So a turnover as we've cut this thing to 7, 28-21, as Williams will bring it up, gives off to Lawwell, now back to Williams. Lawwell, now Williams, now back to Lawwell on the right side. Passes along the arc as they get it to Haskins, turns around, down in the paint, and puts it up. I don't know how there couldn't have been something called, but the ball shakes free, and now a foul on the opposite end of the court. He was over on the far side and calls the foul on Williams. Meanwhile, we had two officials closer to the action, and they did nothing. So the second one on Williams, both teams with 4 team fouls, as Banks has got to be guarded by Haskins. Now he'll swing it over to Tanner. Tanner intercepted by Powers as he tiptoes along the sideline, keeps it in, puts it in. Yes! Excellent defense. Josh Powers saw that pass coming from a mile away. He makes the steal. He gets the 2. We've cut it to 5. Meanwhile, cross-court pass as a long 3, and that one off the back of the iron, hits the top of the backboard, and the official finally blows the whistle. So a long 3 by McDonald, and I'm not sure if you're Lewis County, if that's the shot you really wanted at this point, as all the momentum has swung over to the purple and gold, as Williams will bring it across as we've gone under 2 minutes, 1:44 to be exact, as Lawwell's got it on the right side, drives, kicks to Williams. Williams thought about the 3, and he draws a foul as number 1 Maddox Tanner, I believe, was the gentleman to give him a little bit of a hip check. So he will be called for the infraction. That will put us in the bonus as Williams will toe the mark for 2. This is the closest we've been in quite some time as we trail by 5, and Williams can cut into this as that one is too strong off the back of the iron. And now Chapin has made his way to the scores table. He will come in for number 22, Carson Stewart, as Williams will toe the mark for the second attempt. 1:38 to go here in the second, 5-point game. Williams, free throw, yes! So Banks will inbound. We have not seen anything of Hull, the young man that picked up the 3 fouls early, as they've been able to maintain without him, as they give over to McDonald on the left wing. McDonald drives, floater, and that one rims home as it hit the back of the rim, the front of the rim, and then finds its way through the cylinder. 30-24 the score. 1:15 to go until the halftime break, as Haskins taking all the time that he needs at the Lewis County logo, and now swings over to Lawwell, and he's called for the travel. And apparently these officials here are not used to the head fake and then going underneath, going baseline. We've been called for it twice now, as it did not look like that Lawwell shuffled any feet. It didn't look like he moved at all. So the score, 30-24, 1:05 to go here in the second, is Banks really going to push it against Haskins. Spin move, puts it up, yes! Puts that one right off the square, and the score now 32-24 as Haskins will slow it up. 50 seconds. Haskins will leave it for Williams. Now swings over to Hill on the left side. Now Williams with it at the top, and that pass intercepted as they try to go in the middle of the lane. Gives off to Banks. Counted in the foul, as I didn't think Banks drew much contact, but apparently it was enough. So Feichinger gets the bucket to go, or excuse me, Banks gets the bucket to go. And now he will toe the mark for the old-fashioned three-point play, as that is the third foul on Jackson Williams, as Powers comes down with that rebound. Haskins has got it. 34 seconds. We've got the numbers 3-on-2. Haskins puts it up. Counted! And the foul! I was waiting to see if they'd call a charge. He did not. Count that bucket. And now Haskins will go, and he will attempt the old-fashioned three-point play as Williams will check out. Boyce will come in. So we've got Hill, Lawwell, Boyce, Haskins, and Powers. As the score, 34-26. Charlie can't get that one to go. Rebound going to go to Tanner, as Banks will slow it down. 25 seconds, and they may very well hold for this last shot, as Banks is awfully close to that center court line, and finally gives over to Feichinger. Now Feichinger back over to Banks. 10 seconds. Feichinger with it. Now back to Banks. Banks looks up at the clock. Now gives out to Feichinger. Three-pointer, and it was partially blocked, I think. Ball's loose. Rebound, and at the buzzer, it will not count, as Chapin, I don't think, got it off in time, but it rimmed out anyways. 34-26 is our score at the half. We'll take the halftime break. We've got to thank the sponsors. We thank you for listening in to Viking Basketball on the Ball Network.
Home isn't just where you live, it's where you belong. It's your people, your school, and your community. That's why I'm proud to support our community Vikings and Queens this season. Even if I can't shoot like them, I can still sell your house.
So Sudbury, located at 617 Parson Road in Shelbyville, Tennessee, is your one-stop shop for everything purple and gold. The Spirit Store has all things in every sport. Do you need new gear with the new community logos? So Sudbury has you covered. They have the new logos on all items and anything else you can imagine. So Sudbury, when it comes to quality, it must be so.
Bella Chic Boutique, located at 300 North Britton Street in Shelbyville, Tennessee, offers fabulous style with all the latest fashions. We also offer seasonal attire to celebrate all major holidays. Getting ready for the big game? Yeah, we have you covered there too. We also carry all the items you'll ever need to complete your ensemble. Bella Chic Boutique. Look good, feel good, dress good.
Home isn't just where you live, it's where you belong. It's your people, your school, and your community. That's why I'm proud to support our community Vikings and Queens this season. Even if I can't shoot like them, I can still sell your house.
So Sudbury, located at 617 Parson Road in Shelbyville, Tennessee, is your one-stop shop for everything purple and gold. The Spirit Store has all things in every sport. Do you need new gear with the new community logos? So Sudbury has you covered. They have the new logos on all items and anything else you can imagine. So Sudbury, when it comes to quality, it must be so.
Bella Chic Boutique, located at 300 North Britton Street in Shelbyville, Tennessee, offers fabulous style with all the latest fashions. We also offer seasonal attire to celebrate all major holidays. Getting ready for the big game? Yeah, we have you covered there too. We also carry all the items you'll ever need to complete your ensemble. Bella Chic Boutique. Look good, feel good, dress good.
So we'd like to welcome everyone back in. 34-26 is our score at the half here in Lewis County, and I'm going to turn things over to Bill real quick and let him update you on the scoring.
Okay, your halftime stats. First of all, for Lewis County, their scores were as follow. Phoenix McDonald had 5 points. Maddox Tanner had 5 points. Kobe Feikinger had 9. Dakota Hull had 3. And their leading scorer was Bo Banks with 10. And Carson Stewart had 2. For the Community Vikings, Jonathan Lawwell had 2. Charlie Haskins had 10. Jason Williams had 4. Joshua Powers had 4. Mason Hill had 3. And Andrew Toshiel had 3. Your halftime score, Lewis County 34, Community 26. Back to David.
So again, we appreciate everyone listening in as we get the third quarter underway. Lewis County will have possession of the basketball as their big gun, number 11, Dakota Hull, has still not made an appearance as he's going to start out this third quarter on the bench as Banks is going to swing it over to McDonald. McDonald now gives back to Banks. Coming out of the halftime, we've got Lawwell, Haskins, Williams, Powers, and Toshio, so the starting 5 for Community. As Tanner's got it, now he'll swing over to McDonald. McDonald, Banks, now back over to Tanner. Tanner drives, pops in the lane, and that went off the back of the iron. Rebound goes to Williams, now knocked away, and he was able to save it, gives off to Haskins. Haskins will bring it across the timeline, now gives over to Toshio, three-pointer, and that one off the side of the rim. Ball's loose, and Williams has got it, gives off to Haskins. Haskins puts it up, won't go. Rebound, Williams puts it up. And a travel is called. I don't even see how we had possession of the basketball. So a travel called and a turnover here at the 7-minute mark as that will erase 2 off the board for us. The score remains 34-26. Stewart now swings over to Feichinger. Now Feichinger back out to McDonald. The ball loose, picked away by Williams. So Community with it, as Williams will bring it across. Now Lawwell's got it. Now over to Haskins. Now back to Lawwell. Lawwell on the right side. Haskins on the left. Toshio down low to Powers. Powers puts it up. Yes! The kiss off the glass. And the score, 34-28. So Banks will bring it across for the Panthers as he'll swing it over to Feichinger as he gives it back over to Banks. Now to Stewart. Stewart swings to Tanner down in the right corner. Now McDonald's got it. Now back over to Tanner. Tanner now back to Banks outside the arc. Long three. Yes! Bo Banks, and he's been the man that's hurt us all night, and he continues a three-point basket there, and the score 37-28. Williams with it. Now Lawwell on the right side. Lawwell now over to Williams cross court. Now swings it to Toshio. Haskins at the top of the key. Toshio now will bring it to the top as he'll hand off to Lawwell. Now Haskins on the left side beyond the arc. Lawwell top of the key. Now Lawwell looking over. Powers now gives to Williams. Williams was going to try to drive in. Now Haskins three, and that one's short of the mark as the rebound going to go to Banks. Banks, and he was going to try to knock it out of bounds off Haskins, and the ball goes flying as Williams able to contain it. Now Haskins with it on the left side. Haskins drives, puts it up, and that one won't go. Rebound and a foul underneath. It is going to stay with Community as that foul going to be called on Bo Banks. And I believe that is just his first. So Community with possession. Powers with it, now at three, and that one off the mark by Haskins as he tried to put one up from the corner. Lewis County with the basketball across the timeline. Long three, bottom. A long three by Maddox Tanner, the junior, and the three-pointer has been kind to the Panthers tonight as they've not missed much from beyond the arc. As Lawwell with it. Now Haskins on the right side. Lawwell top of the key, drives in the paint, kicks over to Haskins. Haskins drives in the paint, lays it up, won't go. Rebound going to go to Banks, and they're off and running. Banks now coming down, and he traveled. Nothing called, gets his own rebound, puts it up, but he obviously traveled in the lane. And now the ball stolen. Shot put up, won't go. Haskins with the rebound. Good job by Williams to deter the shot. Williams, top of the key, now gives the Lawwell, kicks it back to Haskins. Haskins thought about the three, now he's going to drive in the lane, puts it up, and drew a lot of contact. Rebound, Powers, yes! Josh Powers gets it to go off the square. Timeout, head coach Hunter Farrell. We trail by 12. You're listening to Viking Basketball on the Ball Network. Welcome back in. 4:17 to go here in the third quarter. A 12-point lead by the home squad as they have possession of the basketball, and back in for the first time since the first half will be Dakota Hull. So we'll see how they play him, as the star of the show has 3 fouls, but Bo Banks has been impressive tonight. So Batman's been in foul trouble, but Robin has held his own as we go under the 4-minute mark, as Banks has got it at the top of the key. He'll swing it over to Tanner. Tanner pulls up at the elbow. That one too strong. Rebound going to go to Williams. Williams now will bring it up the court. Toshio pushes to Lawwell. Lawwell back to Toshio. Three-pointer. That one's short of the mark. Rebound is loose. Picked away by Lawwell. Lawwell among the trees will kick it back to Toshio. And now what's called down there? 3 seconds. So 3 seconds called on Community, and we just cannot get a break. As Banks will bring it up for Lewis County. 12-point deficit, 3:30 to go. Banks with it at the top of the key. He'll swing it over as Tanner's got it. Now Tanner will back it out as he's almost at the logo, and that one almost stolen away by Haskins. Gets off the hole. Now Tanner. Now they'll swing it corner 3, and that one won't go by Feichinger, as rebound is going to go Toshio. And an offensive foul called on Toshio. He was trying to work his way around. Unbelievable. Absolute garbage. I'm sorry, but that young man was just trying to get out of the corner, and the defensive player bumped him with his body, full contact, and he's going to call it on Toshio. Unbelievable. So a hook with the right arm by the defender, but called on Toshio. Now inbound three-pointer, and that one won't go by Tanner. Ball is loose, still loose, pulled down by Haskins. Long throw, Lawwell. Lawwell's got it. Yes! Off the square, Jonathan Lawwell. We've cut it to 10. 2:50 to go, and it's almost exactly like it was last night. Can we overcome the officiating? As the fake offensive foul, yes sir! Banks just bulldozed his way into the lane, and Powers took the shot. Offensive foul is called, and the officials could not mess that one up. It was too easy. Ray Charles could have called it, and we trail by 10 with 2:40 to go. So we almost have to make it blatant for the officials not to mess this up. Lawwell with it on the right side. Now Haskins, top of the key, gives off to Hill. Powers along the baseline, now gives back to Hill. Haskins thought about the 3. Now we'll dish off to Lawwell, right side. Haskins, 3, and that one off the side of the rim. And the shots for several gentlemen tonight have been short. So bringing the basketball up will be Hull. He'll swing over to Tanner. Now Tanner will give it to Banks at the top of the key. 2 minutes to go here in the third. Plenty of time. As we've just got to chip away, we've got to get defensive stops. Banks with it on the left. Now gives down low and lost it momentarily. Stewart with it. Now they'll swing it around the arc. Banks has it. Now over to Tanner. Tanner thought about driving in. Now pulls up the dribble. Now he'll give over to Banks, top of the key. As now they'll slow it down. They give it off to Hull. Hull fakes the pass and goes underneath. And is that a travel? Yes, sir! The official on the far side checked in at halftime, read what a travel call is, and now he's got it as it's finally called as we trail by 10. 1:35 to go here in the third. So Lawwell with it as he will swing it over to Hill. Hill now to Lawwell. Lawwell, Williams thought about the long 3. Now Powers has got it. Powers down in the corner, gives off to Lawwell at the top. Now Hill's got it. They'll swing it around the arc. Williams drives in, kicks. Haskins thought about it, now gives to Powers baseline. Now he'll swing it back out to Lawwell. Lawwell trying to go back to Powers. It's kicked out of bounds. It'll belong to Community. 1:13 to go in the third. 10-point lead by the home squad as that one is inbounded to Haskins. He'll look over to head coach Hunter Farrell. He's got the assignment. They'll get things set up as Haskins comes over to the left side. Now he'll just simply back it out as Lawwell makes his way along the baseline. Now they'll give off to Williams. Williams, 3. Bottom! And Amanda Sievers, 3. That one goes down. And the score, 42-35. A 7-point lead We need a stop. Tanner's got it on the right side. Feichinger with it at the top. Now he'll give off to Banks. Finds Stewart. Backside. Oh, and it was stolen away. But a 3 seconds is called. Either way, we've got the basketball. And we've got the opportunity to put a dent further in this lead. 33 seconds. 7-point lead as Haskins will bring it across the timeline. He'll hold up. He's going to wait for the last shot unless we get something just absolutely wide open, as Lewis County again in that 2-3 zone, Stewart in the middle of it. Haskins backing it out, and 13 seconds. Now Haskins being guarded heavily by Tanner. Comes off a screen by Powers, kicks it over. Williams, three-pointer, and that one rims out. Rebound Powers, and it won't go, and it's going to belong to Community with 0.4 of a second. And I think at this point you would only be allowed to tap it, as they will have Boyce come in. Williams will check out, and I bet they're going to try to throw to the big man to tap it. Lawwell, three, and that one will not count. They gave him an opportunity at a full shot, so I don't know if it would have counted, if it would have went down anyways. We've played three. It is 42-35. You're listening to Viking basketball on the Ball Network.
So Sudbury, located at 617 Parson Road in Shelbyville, Tennessee, is your one-stop shop for everything purple and gold. The Spirit Store has all things in every sport. Do you need new gear with the new community logos? So Sudbury has you covered. They have the new logos on all items and anything else you can imagine. So Sudbury, when it comes to quality, it must be so.
So welcome back in. Fourth quarter action. The winner will get Summertown Tuesday night at East Hickman. Whoever tastes defeat tonight, the season is over. We come out with Hill, Haskins, Lawwell, Powers, and Williams, as Hill's got it on the left side. Lawwell top of the key. Now back to Hill, three-pointer. And that one off the back of the iron. Rebound goes to Williams. He flies in, grabs that thing midair. Now they'll go around the arc. Haskins, head fake, going to drive in the paint. And he was fouled in the lane, but they're going to call an offensive foul on Charlie Haskins. I just don't know what to even say. I can't describe it. There's no way to describe it. As he slid in the lane, drew the contact by the defender, but an offensive foul called. As the far side official, I believe, does have on glasses, so this game may be brought to you by Lens Crafters, as they're going to need a set. 42-35 is the score, as Feichinger's got it at the top of the key. He'll give off to Tanner. Tanner's got it, going to loop down low, and an offensive foul is going to be called on number 11. That is Dakota Hull. That is his fourth, as he was trying to gain possession down low, and he keeps mouthing. And go ahead and tee him up, sir. Meanwhile, Lawwell, Haskins in the paint, and now trapped underneath as he gets it out to Powers. Lawwell, Williams, Hill's in the corner. Now back to Williams. Lawwell drops in the paint, was looking for Powers down low, go out of bounds. It will belong to Lewis County. So it's a good look, just a little too much mustard on that one, as it could not be handled. 42-35, 7:03 to go. And the officials still getting an earful, as Banks will bring it down, being guarded closely by Lawwell. Young man, you are not going to outrun Jonathan Lawwell, as now he'll back it out. He'll give over to Hull. Hull, 4 fouls, but it's really been Banks that's hurt us tonight, and now a timeout going to be called by Lewis County as the offense went a little bit stagnant. 6:45 to go in the contest. You're listening to Viking basketball on the Ball Network. So welcome back in. Long pass as Fikinger's got it in the backcourt, gives over to Banks. Now Tanner with it as Lewis County has possession. 6:37 to go in the contest as we trail by 7. As Fikinger now has it, and he's going to give off to Hull. Hull's got it at the elbow, now going to give off to Banks. Banks thought about going into the lane, but Lawwell said no, sir, as Banks will have to back it out, and now gets past Lawwell. Now drives in. He traveled! He traveled! My word! What do we have to do to get a travel call? As Haskins now will bring it up as the shot was missed. A floater, that one short. Rebound going to go to Hull. But my word, you would think it was the NBA. They're getting 3 or 4 steps. So Hull's got it, being guarded by Williams. Now draws a little bit of a double team, now gives off to Banks. Banks going to give it off to Tanner. Tanner drives, and he left it for his compatriot, but it was too much mustard on it as number 2, J.D. Woods, was the man. Sorry, I was trying to get my eyes on him. Woods was the one that could not handle it. So we're stuck at this 7-point deficit. It has been 42-35 for quite some time. 5:45 to go in this one. Haskins with it. Top of the key. Swings over to Williams. Williams, Hill's got it down in the corner. Hill now picks up the dribble, finds Williams. Now they'll swing it across. Lawwell, Haskins, 3. And that one off the side of the rim as Banks left it for Hull and then knocked away by Hill, who's got it. Excellent defense along the sideline as we've got it to Powers. Powers. And that one will not go as the foul called. He's not even going to give him credit for the shot. My word. So Powers drives, picks up the foul, but they're not going to give him the 2 shots as Tashio will come in for Hill. And number 2, Woods, will check out as number 0, McDonald, in for Lewis County. So Lawwell with it on the right side as he'll give off to Tashio. Now back to Lawwell. Lawwell now to Williams. Williams beyond the arc, now to Lawwell. Haskins, floater in the lane, rims out, but rebound, Powers puts it up, yes! Josh Powers has been a force down in the lane. That's at least 3 that he's gotten the rebound and stuck it back in. And now the contingency from community getting loud. We brought quite a few folks as the score 42-37. Stolen away by Haskins in the middle of the lane. Haskins drives, puts it up, yes! Timeout! Community will take the break. The bucket went down. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on a run. It's 42-39. You're going to want to come back. 4:37 remains. You're listening to Viking Basketball on the Ball Network. So welcome back in. At one point it was 42-35. We've scored 4 straight. And we got to get another stop here. As the score 42-39 with 4:30. So plenty of time. Hopefully we've got them rattled a little bit. Haskins, Williams, Tashio, Lawwell, and Powers come out for the Vikings. As they've got McDonald and Fikinger, Tanner, Banks, and Hull. Of course, Hull playing with the 4 fouls. Right now, they're just swinging around the arc as Fikinger's got it. And travel as he lost the basketball. He tried to scoop it up and continue on. That one just so obvious that they had to call it. So a turnover and an opportunity to inch even closer or possibly have the tie. 42-39. Williams swings it over. Haskins top of the key. Now Williams has got it on the right side. He finds Lawwell over on the left. All of this action is beyond the arc as Williams got it at the top. Now Lawwell left side looks for Powers down low. Powers back to Lawwell. Now Haskins with it. Williams swings it over to Toshio. Toshio on the right side of the court. Now comes back out top of the key. Gives off to Williams. Now Lawwell down in the paint. Gives off to Haskins. Haskins puts it up. Floater won't go. Rebounds. Powers. Yes, sir! The kiss off the glass. And ladies and gentlemen, in my book, Josh Powers, player of the game, Mr. Hustle tonight. We trail by 1 and a foul called on Powers as Banks was trying to pursue the shot. And Powers picks up his second. So no worries there, but my goodness, what an effort by the senior as a timeout's going to be called by Lewis County. They've seen the lead dwindle down to 1. 3:12 to go here in the fourth. You're listening to Viking basketball on the Ball Network. So welcome back in, 3:12 to go, and I've been told roughly about 18 to 20 people listening. We may be few, but we are proud, almost like the Marines. 3:12 to go, and I appreciate the ones that are tuning into this. I know it's tough when it's a radio call, but takes me back to my roots, and we're trying to do the best that we can to give the action to you tonight. 3:12 to go, 42-41. The Vikings are within 1 point as inbound goes to Banks. Now he's going to give over to Feichinger. Feichinger with it, being guarded closely by Haskins. Now that pass intercepted by Powers. Powers gets it off to Haskins. Haskins puts it up. Yes, sir! The kiss off the glass. The turnover. Powers to Haskins. And we've got the lead, 43-42, 2:46. Hall spins, puts it up short. Rebound, he went over the back. That should have been foul number 5. And Mr. Official, you missed it. He was clearly out of position as Hull reached over and shoved Williams. No foul called as the possession's going to belong to Lewis County. Tanner with it, gives over to Banks. Banks has got it outside the arc, 2:30 to go. Banks will swing it over. Feichinger now with it. Feichinger being guarded closely by Haskins. Now McDonald drives in the paint and is stripped away by Lawwell, who's called for a foul. Jonathan Lawwell simply took that basketball away. And now they're going to call it on Toshio. It must have been away from the ball. That is the third on Andrew Toshio, or excuse me, the fourth. Had to update the books. I thought, my goodness, if that was on Lawwell, because it looked like all ball from my perspective, as number 0, Phoenix McDonald, the junior, will toe the mark, and the free throw goes down. We're knotted at 43 apiece. McDonald, the free throw, too strong, rebound, and that should have been the 5th foul, and it's going to be. Well, that's not Hull. My apologies, getting too excited. It's going to be called on Banks. And, well, that's the 3rd on Banks, so a little bit of foul trouble for him. As now McDonald going to check out of the contest. They're going to go back with number 22, Carson Stewart. So Stewart, Tanner, Feichinger, Banks, and Hull. Meanwhile, we've got Haskins, Toshio, Powers, Williams, and Lawwell. Haskins drives. Yes, the kiss off the glass as he went into the lane. Went off a double screen, if you will, set by Williams and Powers. And the score, 45-43. Hull's got it at the elbow, picks up his dribble. Now he'll give over to Tanner. Tanner now swings it over to Banks. Under 2 minutes. Banks being guarded by Lawwell. Tanner thought about the 3. He'll give back over to Banks. Now back over, and they're simply just going back and forth around the arc. As Feichinger now hands to Banks, and a foul called away, way away from the action. And it's going to be on Jackson Williams. And I believe that's his 4th. So we've got major foul trouble. Williams with 4, Toshio with 4, Powers, I think, with just 3. as the inbound goes to Hull. Gives it back, three-pointer. That one way off the mark. Rebound, Powers. It's loose. They're going to say it went off of Powers, who was shoved down to the ground by Tanner. No foul call. They're going to let him play. 1:27 to go. We've got the 2-point lead. Inbound, Hull puts it up. Counted! And the foul as Dakota Hull gets that one to go. And Williams, I believe that's his 5th. So Williams has fouled out of the contest, as Hill will check in for him. So the senior done for the night, hopefully not done for the season. We are tied at 45, 1:26 to go. Number 11, the junior Dakota Hull at the free throw line. The free throw rims out, rebound goes to Tashio. We are tied with a minute 20 as Haskins looks over to head coach Hunter Farrell. He's got the signal as Hunter Farrell almost can't watch as he walks the length of the bench looking down at the ground. It'd be interesting to see what's going on in his head. The first-year coach trying to get his bunch to the region semifinals as the 3 seed out of District 9. Haskins with it. We're under a minute as he's being guarded, and 5 seconds. That's baloney. I'm sorry, but he calls 5 seconds as Haskins was coming off to his left. You've got to be guarded. The defender's got to be up on him. That is a terrible call with 52 seconds. As Feichinger drawing the double team in the backcourt. Now gives over to Tanner. Tanner's got it to Banks. 43 seconds. We are tied. Feichinger got it beyond the arc. Now gives over to Banks. Banks being guarded closely by Lawwell, as now Hill being guarded, is guarding Tanner all over him, and he's going to have to call a timeout. He had nowhere to go. Hill was so close he could tell what flavor gum he was chewing. 45-45 the score, 28 seconds. You'll want to come back for the finish. You're watching or listening to Viking basketball on the Ball Network. So welcome back in, 28 seconds to go. We're knotted at 45 apiece as the winner will play Tuesday night at 6 o'clock against Summertown. That will be at East Hickman. And one of these teams is going to end their season tonight, and this is going to be tough on somebody because they both have played their hearts out. The officials have played a role in it, but 28 seconds could be what decides it, as Lewis County calls the timeout, and they have drawn up something with head coach Luke Scott. I don't think I've mentioned him up to this point. I apologize, but let's see what he's drawn up, as Feichinger will be the one to inbound, as he's going to throw, and his foot I thought was on the line. Banks was at half court, and I thought that he may have went over and back. Nothing called, as Tanner down to the lane, draws the foul. Oh my word, drew the foul going down to the lane as he was floating away from the defender. I don't even think they touched. As he went into the air, he was going off to his right. The defender stayed in the lane, as that was Powers. And the scoreboard says it's his third. I already had him down for 3, but we'll take it, as the free throw will go down for the junior Maddox Tanner, as Stewart will check out. Back into the ballgame for the Panthers is number 0, Phoenix McDonald. So the second attempt by Tanner is up and good. And now a timeout has been called. 17.5 seconds remain. 2-point lead for Lewis County. You're listening to Viking basketball on the Ball Network.
So Sudbury, located at 617 Parson Road in Shelbyville, Tennessee, is your one-stop shop for everything purple and gold. The Spirit Store has all things in every sport. Do you need new gear with the new community logos? So Sudbury has you covered. They have the new logos on all items and anything else you can imagine. So Sudbury, when it comes to quality, it must be so.
So welcome back in, 17 and a half seconds. And the foul that was called on Powers that resulted in the 2 free throws from Tanner. I believe the official was out of position to see that, and he called what he thought he saw and not what actually took place, because from my vantage point, you could see space between the shooter and the defender. So I'm not sure how he thought any contact occurred, but again, the one that called it was behind the action. 47-45, 2-point deficit, 15 seconds. Let's see if we're going to go for the win or do we go for the tie. Hill's got it top of the key. Lawwell now gives to Haskins. Haskins drives. Blocked! It was blocked. No, it's a foul! It's a foul called on Hull, and he's fouled out, and he's furious. And Mr. Official, if you'd like to, please tee him up. We take it as Hull has fouled out, and the official looks over to head coach Luke Scott, and he's continuing to mouth, and the official is not going to do it, as now Stewart comes into the ball game. So the freshman Stewart in for Dakota Hull, and now all the pressure in the world on Charlie Haskins. He is at the free throw line. We trail by 2, 7.5 seconds. The free throw, yes! We've cut it to 1 as Charlie Hustle will toe the mark, 47-46. We trail by just 1. The free throw, bottom! We're tied at 47. Banks has got it. 6 seconds. Gives off to McDonald. McDonald, long shot, won't go. Ball's loose. Hill's got it, and we're going to overtime. We are going to overtime. We trailed by double digits, and then for the longest in the fourth quarter, trailed by 7. We dwindled it down. Charlie Haskins, with ice water in his veins, hits both free throws. And from what I'm being told, he now has 1,000 points. So what better way to do it? 47-47. We're going to overtime. And the 1,000th point. As I've got to calm down a little bit. So the 1,000th point for Charlie Haskins comes on 2 free throws that may have saved the season. And my apologies. Sometimes it's hard not to get emotional. You pull for these kids and you want the best. 47-47. We're tied. We're going into overtime. The winner goes to the quarterfinals. As we obviously will jump it off. You get 4 minutes in overtime if you're not familiar with this. Now, the key to it here in overtime is Dakota Hull, the junior, has fouled out. That may be the biggest thing that happened there in that fourth quarter other than the free throws, because they will be without him for the remainder of this contest. So 4 minutes to decide the game, barring any double overtime. We can play all night if it's up to me. So we're ready to jump it off, and it went straight up and nobody made contact, so that's going to be a re-jump, as it will be Stewart against Powers, and who's got possession, and the ball is loose and finally picked up by Tanner. So Lewis County with it, as Tanner will drive down, spin move, puts it up, yes! So they draw first blood. It goes up and off the square, 49-47. Lawwell, Haskins, Hill, Powers, and Toshio in there for the Vikings. Toshio with it on the left wing, now gives over to Hill. Hill going to swing it over to Lawwell. Now back to Hill, top of the key. Toshio's got it, and they're actually going to call a foul on Feichinger, as I thought Toshio may have dropped that shoulder, but the defender did not have his feet in position, and I think that's what made the difference on the call. So Toshio will toe the mark, as that was the third foul on number 4, Feichinger, as the free throw, yes! So 49-48 the score, as Andrew Toshio will toe the mark. The second free throw, bottom! As that one rattles home, we're tied again at 49, 3:31 to go, and counting, as Stewart, the freshman, with it on the left side. Picks up his dribble, now he'll give off to Banks. Banks has got it beyond the arc, now back over to Stewart. Now gives off to number 0, McDonald. McDonald's got it, now gives off to Feichinger, looks backside, nice look, yes! As Tanner was making his way backside, they find him. He lays it up and in off the square, and the score, 51-49. Lawwell, Toshio. Now back to Lawwell at the top of the key. He'll dribble out, gives off to Hill. Now back over to Lawwell. Lawwell now going to swing it over, as Hill's got it on the right side. Now they'll go to Haskins. Now Lawwell, top of the key. Lawwell drives, kicks out. Toshio thought about the three, won't go. He's going to give it over to Haskins. Now Hill's got it on the right side. Now back to Toshio, top of the key, three. And that went off the front of the rim, a rebound, and that's got to be a travel. Yes, sir. As the rebound went to Tanner, he fell to the ground, and it's finally called. 2:38 to go, 2-point basketball game. We are in overtime, as Haskins, Hill, and Hill could have taken the three, elected not to. Now gives over to Lawwell. Haskins was the intended receiver. It was knocked out of bounds by Feichinger. So the purple and gold have it. 2:32 to go here in the fifth quarter, if you will, as we are in overtime, and they inbound in the backcourt. Haskins with it as he looks over to head coach Hunter Farrell. He's got the sign and now swings it over to Toshio. Toshio gives back to Haskins. Haskins to Toshio, was going to drive down and now gives off to Lawwell. Lawwell now back over to Haskins on the right side. Lawwell top of the key, now finds Haskins in the paint, and the ball is loose, and a jump ball. It's going to stay with Community. So the tie-up jump ball, and the possession arrow favors the visitors, as Haskins will be the one to inbound as he looks for Hill, and offensive foul is called underneath on who? Who, Mr. Official? And it's going to be called on, is that on Powers? It was on Powers? Okay, so the foul going to be called on Powers, and that is his fourth, as the ball inbounded to McDonald. McDonald gives off to Tanner. Lewis County with it, 2 minutes to go. They lead by 2. He was going to drive down to the paint. He's cut off by Hill. Now Tanner will back it out. Tanner's got it, still dribbling with it, and now a timeout called by head coach Luke Scott of Lewis County. So we'll take the quick break. 2-point basketball game, 1:52 to go here in the overtime. You're listening to Viking basketball on the Ball Network. So welcome back in. 1:52 to go here in overtime. Lewis County leads at 51-49. They also have possession of the basketball, as the winner of this game will get Summertown Tuesday night, 6 o'clock at East Hickman. So obviously a neutral site game, as East Hickman has already been knocked out of this tournament. So they will host the tournament even though they do not have a team in it, as the regional semifinal, again, Tuesday night, 6 p.m. against Summertown. One of these two teams will be there. The other one will be done for the year, as Banks has got it on the left side, as Banks going to drive down and floats it up there. Won't go, off the back of the iron. Rebound, Tanner, yes! And Maddox Tanner just happened to be in the right place at the right time. And now Lawwell has that one go off of his leg. And it has been turned over as McDonald's throws in the backcourt, and it's over and back. Oh, McDonald, unfortunately for Lewis County, a bonehead play. He was up in the air, had no one to go to with that basketball, and had to throw in the backcourt. 53-49, as now Community gets it due to the turnover, but 125 is all that remains in the contest. As Hill's got it on the right side. Hill will dribble it all the way out to the logo and then was shoved, nothing called. Lawwell, baseline. Haskins, three, and that one won't go, and who's the foul called on? Is that going to be on Powers? As a foul called underneath, as they were both going for it. I thought it should have been a jump, and the foul going to be called on Powers. That is his fifth. So Josh Powers has fouled out. Jackson Williams has fouled out. Dakota Hull for Lewis County has fouled out. So 3 players already gone, as number 12, Bo Banks, the one who has hurt us the most tonight, will toe the mark. And he can add some separation into this one, as the free throw will not go. It was short. So the deficit remains at 4, 53-49, 1:11 to go here in the overtime. The free throw by Banks, and it rims out. He misses both as Toshio grabs the rebound. Haskins will push to Lawwell. Lawwell, three, and that went off the back of the iron. Ball is loose, and a foul going to be called on Hill, but he was shoved from behind by Banks, but the official did not see it that way. Hill was pushed into the Lewis County player. But again, we do not get the benefit of the call, as Maddox Tanner will toe the mark as we trail by 4. 1:01 to go, and I believe Mason Hill, that is only his second, as the free throw goes for Tanner. And things are starting to look grim. 54-49, 1:01 to go here in the overtime. The second free throw, and that one is knocked home as well. So Tanner gets it to go. As into the basketball game now for Lewis County will be number 2, J.D. Woods, the senior, as number 22, Carson Stewart, will have a seat. We've got to push it. As Stewart gives off to Hill. Hill going to back it out. Now back over to Toshio, right corner. Now Hill's got it top of the key. Haskins with it. Haskins now to Hill. Three-pointer. And that one rims out. Rebound, Charlie Haskins. Back to Toshio. Three. Bottom! Timeout Community, as it's 55-52, 41 seconds. We'll be back. You're listening to Viking Basketball on the Ball Network. So 41 and a half seconds as Community trails by 3. So obviously you got to try for a quick steal. And we just got to hope for the best here. We got to hope that Lewis County will miss some free throws down the stretch as we come out of the timeout with Carson Boyce, the new one in for Josh Powers. So Boyce, Toshio, Hill, Lawwell, and Haskins. Meanwhile, they got Banks, Stewart's back in for Lewis County, along with Feichinger, McDonald, and Tanner. So those are the 10 individuals out there as Stewart will inbound. And we didn't even try for a steal, as that one's knocked out of bounds, and it's going to belong to Community. Lawwell with the defense. McDonald couldn't handle it. It went off of his shin. It goes out of bounds. Excellent defense by Jonathan Lawwell, as we've got possession of the basketball, trailing by 3 with 38 seconds. Toshio, 3. And that one rims out. Rebound is loose and finally picked away by Feichinger. He's fouled. He'll go to the line. with 38 seconds, you didn't necessarily have to have the three, but we took it. It was a good look by Toshio. It just hit the iron and came back out as heads-up play by number 4, the junior, Kobe Feichinger, who grabbed that rebound. Now he's at the free throw line. The free throw, and that one will not go. It will not go. 55-52 as J.D. Woods is going to try to make his way to the scores table. Free throw, yes. As Woods will check in for, well, he comes in for Stewart. Sorry, I had to get my eyes on him. As the inbound, Haskins going to let it play out till he gets it at half court. Hill's got it and threw it down there, and that should have been a kicked ball, is it not? So a foul going to be called on Community. He kicked the ball. So a foul going to be called on Hill, and the official's like, what do you want me to do? The ball was clearly kicked. It would not have ricocheted out of there if it wasn't kicked the way that it was. 56-52, and now Banks probably can put this thing away as he is at the free throw line. The free throw, yes. 5-point lead, 26 seconds. And some costly turnovers along with some free throw shooting as that one goes down has helped Lewis County as they lead by 6, 25 seconds. Haskins, Lawwell now to Haskins, and that one almost stolen away by Tanner. Gives to Hill, three-pointer, and that one won't go. Rebound was almost taken by Boyce, and now Tanner's got it. He draws the foul, and that's going to do it. As Community trails by 6. 12 seconds is all that remains. As going to the free throw line will be number 1, the junior Maddox Tanner, as Carson Boyce was the one called for the infraction. As Tanner, free throw, yes. So this is going to be a little deceiving if you just see the box score, because the score, 59-52, obviously it was a lot closer, as that free throw rattles home, and Stewart will check in for J.D. Woods for the last 12 seconds as the score 60-52. Valiant effort by the Vikings to get it to overtime against the number 2 seed out of the District 10. Toshio, three, and that one off the mark. Rebound is loose, taken by Tanner. He's fouled immediately as there's only 4 seconds. I'm not sure why you foul at this point. So a couple of tough calls down the stretch, along with credit to Lewis County. They hung in there as adversity struck, and they position themselves here in the overtime as Toshio picks up his 5th foul, and Leathers came in for Hill, but it's Toshio that's got to come out. So Toshio with his 5th foul. Hill will stay in the game as number 12, the senior Zach Leathers, checks in. And obviously this will be the last game for the seniors, Jackson Williams, Zachary Leathers, and Josh Powers. And it has been a privilege to call these games for these seniors. It's been a privilege to do the interviews and get to meet them. A classy bunch as the season is going to end. As Leathers, a three, bottom! And Amanda Sievers, 3 at the buzzer by the senior. Poetic justice as the final score, 61-55. I'm going to give Bill a couple of minutes to total up everything as the game did go into overtime. So again, the final score, 61-55. Lewis County wins. They will advance to the Region 5 2A semifinals. That game will be played at East Hickman, and that game will be against Summertown. So a tough contest ahead for Lewis County, but that should be a heck of a game between the Panthers and the Eagles of Summertown. So again, the final score in overtime, 61-55. Congratulations to the junior Charlie Haskins, who tallied his 1,000th point in his career at Community. And the good news for us is that young man will be back as again, he is just a junior, so he will be a senior next year, along with Jonathan Lawwell, Logan Reed, and I believe those are the 3 juniors that we have on the current roster, so they will be back for their senior season. So a lot to look forward to as we have a lot of talent coming back. But again, the last game for senior Jackson Williams, Zachary Leathers, and Josh Powers, heck of an effort tonight by them. And I would have to tip my hat to Josh Powers. The effort was there, had several rebounds. And Bill, if you're ready, I'm going to turn this thing over to you and you can give them the stats, and then we'll swing it back over here to close things out.
Tough loss for the Community Vikings. For the Vikings, Jonathan Lawwell had 4 points. Charlie Haskins was our leading scorer tonight. He had 18. Jason Williams had 7. Zachary Leathers had 3. Joshua Powers had 12. Mason Hill had 3. And Andrew Tossio had 8 for a total of 55. For the victorious Lewis County Panthers, Phoenix McLeod had 6. Their leading scorer was Maddox Tanner tonight with 19. Kobe Vikinger had 10. Dakota Hull, their big gun, was held to 5 points. And Bo Banks had 17. And Carson Stewart chipped in with 2. So your final score, Lewis County in overtime defeats Community 61-55. Now back to David.
So we'd like to thank everyone that tuned in to the broadcast, and we'd like to thank everyone that has followed us all season long. So I'll close things out the way that we began, the same thing that we say every night, is we hope you enjoyed the broadcast despite the outcome. Be sure to join us next season, as I'm sure that there will be plenty of action that will await us, as this season was phenomenal. So again, our final score in overtime, 61-55, Lewis County wins it. We thank you for your time this time. Until next season, for Bill Knowles doing the stats, I'm David Knowles, and you've been listening